Hey guys, welcome back to another Life with Lenoci. I'm Michael and you are you. And that's where we're at every day and every week. Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining me. And remember, keep like and subscribe. All that fun stuff that you need to do up top. This week, first of all, an exciting time of the year, right? We got an exciting time of the year because we got December. We're going into December. December, first of all, it's one of the most liked months. I would say it's one of the most liked months. By the way, let's get the music faded out by 1 minute. Let's fade it out by 1 minute on a regular basis. I'm going to switch to that. Because we grow. You have to be malleable, okay? But so music fades out here at 1 minute. Thank you guys and welcome to the episode. Eventually we'll get a intro made for the podcast. There's no rules. Again, we always talk about how there's no rules. There's laws, but there's no rules in life. We don't have to sit there and abide by these rules that we make up in our head. Correct? Thank you. So that being said, could this become a big studio in front of a big studio audience? Maybe. I know that we said we wouldn't ever switch again, but there's no rules. Why? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just like, you're getting the cart before the horse again.
You think I'm changing my mind again?
No. Like, I know.
What's the cart before the horse again? What is that?
Well, normally the horse is in front of the cart.
I understand the saying.
Okay.
But I haven't heard it before. It's like saying you're getting the gas without the car.
Sure.
Okay, it's not that clever. Is what I'm saying. It's just like, say what you mean.
Okay, well, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Oh, okay, so say that, right?
So, how about you?
I really wish that everybody could see what I'm seeing right now. So there's a wall in here right now that has
It's a jungle wall.
It's a jungle wall. Yes, you could describe it as a jungle wall. It's got a bunch of different plant-looking things on the wall. It looks exciting to record in front of. Again, there's different rooms in this podcast studio, and I like to keep it consistent. But again, I look to my right. This is kind of what it's like for when you're dating. You're like you have what you want, and then over there you look and you're like, hey, what's that? What is that?
You're as I've been building this place. You're that meme of the dude who's like walking with the one girl, but like turns back to look at the other girl.
Yeah,
and he's like, ooh.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's just like we like, oh, that looks different and new. And then, I could be over there. Maybe I don't like the way it looks. How I get mad at, how you mess up this podcast a lot with the buzzing in the previous episode. We apologize for that. Or, maybe it doesn't look 4K. And then it's like, oh, cool. I look like I have a podcast and it's, done by some shitty guy in Nebraska. And we don't want that. Not that there's anything wrong with being from Nebraska, but anyways, going back onto December, it's the favorite month. Okay, listen, if we're gonna rank months, all right, January to December, there's 12 months in the year. We're gonna rank them. I love ranking things, and I'm gonna give you a top 5 months. Okay, coming in at number 5.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's not do 5. Because if you're ranking 12 things and you're ranking the top 5, do top 3.
Okay, fine. Top 3. That's fair because that's a quarter.
Otherwise, you're basically doing half the month.
Okay, that's fair because there is, 6 would be half. You're right. Okay, so we're going to do 3. The top 3 months in the whole year. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why. All right? And you might disagree. And obviously, there hasn't been a lot of thought put into this. But, this is giving everyone who's listening right now, if you're listening, you're thinking about what you think the top 3 months are right now. So we're gathering all the information in our brains right now, and it should be enough time that we're all equally just going to throw out our top 3. But I would think that there's a common belief that I know what number 1 is. I'm as I'm talking, I'm coming up with number 3 and 2. I know what number 1 is, but number 2, I would say that number 3 is June. I'm going to go with June or July, whether or not, depends on who you are. But number 3 is going to be a June or July. We'll put a slasher.
July is my 3.
Obviously, I'm going to go with June because it's my birthday month. So I'm going to go with June. But both are mid-year, summer. Weather is good across the whole country for the most the northern hemisphere. Traveling, beach. Seems like it's a fun time to drink if you're into drinking. Mid-year kind of recap, like, okay, here we go. We got a lot of things going on. You got all of the sports are pretty much done. You only have baseball. So if you're a sports person, you're like, okay, it's a little boring now. So now you could go focus on outside things. You're not like, that could actually be a con too. But June and July, mid-year, number 3. Now, here we go. Number 2. Here we go. Number 2 for me. I'm gonna go with April.
August for me.
Okay, now I'll let you speak your mind here, but I'm gonna go with April, and I'll tell you why. Because you're leaving winter in the past and spring. You're in spring, right? And it's that feel of like, ooh, what's going on? Now I get August does that for you too. The fall smell. We've talked about the fall smell previously on this episode, but the only reason I don't go with the later the year is because of what number 1 is. It just represents all of fall and winter. So April for me is like, okay, we're into the new year. We're into our groove. And this is like, hey, are we going to continue to do what we said we're going to do? It's a powerful month. That's why. Because listen, everybody in January, I was going to put January at 2. I really was, because you're like, oh, it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start. You got playoff football. That matters to me. I know it doesn't to other people, but January is like, all right, everybody's getting their life together again, right? You're back into your routines. You're trying new things. By April, your new things that you were trying have faded out, right? Right? By April, they faded out. So now you're readjusting. It's kind of like a new readjustment. You're like, okay. And then you start looking forward to a bunch of things for later in the year. You have trips planned. You have weddings planned for June and July. You have things to look forward to in fall. So April's like okay, we're excited. You also have Easter, right? There's Easter in April. You're kind of wrapping up the school year if you have kids or if you're a younger person. So that's why I kind of put April there at number 2. Could I easily be, persuaded to change that answer? Of course. Okay. Never ever say never. So, that's why I went with April, and I'm already ready to change my mind. I actually like January better.
I like August for all the reasons that we enjoy July, except for you now have preseason football. You start to get the games that matter in baseball. Great weather, good travel, Labor Day weekend.
Oh, wow.
And that's when
when's Memorial Day weekend? May.
Yeah.
You got Labor Day weekend. That's a big one.
I feel like August is always like the perfect. Hey, it's great to go to the beach. It's great to travel. You're getting the start of the sports. Like if you're a college football fan, you're getting all the preseason hype.
Here's why I don't want to give August so much credit, because if July is 3 or June, it's just like that's only 2. It's like the same. It's the same area.
It's a good sandwich.
You're just kind of you're in the same area.
But August, you're also getting the turning of the leaves.
It's more. October's fun. I would say October's a fun month then too, because October you got the turning of the leaves, you got Halloween, going into Thanksgiving. Listen, we know December is number 1. It's just number 1, flat out. We all agree with this, okay? So far, we're 2 for 2 in this room. If you're listening, I don't understand how you could not say. First of all, even if holidays are sad for people, now I understand that. It's just the season is fun. It's a fun season from December 1st, from right after Thanksgiving. We got holiday music. You got decorations around the city. You got New Year's, which is another thing, and that's part of December because it's New Year's Eve. You got fun clothes. You're wearing some of the most fun clothes you're wearing are in December. December is hands down. You got December football. You got basketball season kind of in the middle of like, okay, we're going to get serious. What do you watch Christmas Day? You watch this year there's going to be football, but usually it's basketball. But this year it falls on a Sunday. So you're getting some football games on a Sunday, on a Christmas. But usually basketball on Christmas. Christmas in itself is fun. Everybody's drinking. Everybody kind of shuts off. There's no hard projects being done. Nobody's like, hey, the deadline is December 1st. If you didn't get that shit done, it's over. Let's talk about that for a second, man. No deadlines after December 1st. If you're whatever you're working in, if somebody is required to finish something, if it's not finished by December 1st, it's not getting finished, man. We can't ask that. We can't ask people to finish things after December 1st. Lay off. That's a clip for you. Lay off. No deadlines after December 1st. Now, we can get work done and prep for the next year and maybe kind of close out some things, but we're not having deadlines after December 1st. There's no like, hey, this needs to be done by December 13th. It's like, hey, man, people are checked out after Thanksgiving. You cannot do that to them. And that's not healthy. It's not great. And anyone who's putting that pressure on you, they got to go. They got to go. Unless it's your employer, then that sucks because you need them to pay your bills. But still, if somebody's doing that to you, you know in your head, that's not a good person. And that's what you guys need to know. So that's a good clip there, Matt.
I'll pile on in December. So like old job when you had a good job.
Yeah.
You work 2 weeks and then you have the last 2 weeks off for vacation.
Yeah.
You have all the sports.
Yeah.
That's bowl season.
Bowl season?
Bowl season for college football.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You get all the championship games.
Yep.
You get New Year's Eve.
Yep.
New Year's.
Yep.
I will count New Year's Day as December.
Yeah, we all will.
You're still hungover. Doesn't count. You get all the same festive foods that you get from Thanksgiving.
Yep. And you don't really even start until like the 4th.
And
then you're like, let's get back into our routine. Nobody's like, hey, all my New Year's resolutions, they start right away. No. New Year's resolutions start like on the 4th.
Let's add something a little LA specific though.
Okay.
All the parking is available.
All the parking is available in December. That is correct. We are a melting pot place.
Less traffic.
Yeah. That's where we're at. That's why December's exciting. That's where we're at.
Also ski season. That's the biggest one.
Cool.
Thank you.
Not so much for Nebraska. Second time we brought them up. But there you go. So there you go with that. And I know we talked about this a lot, but I wanted to kind of really reiterate it because I wanted a better clip for it. Because, clip-based podcast, here we are. We talked about reorganization. Did we talk about that last week? A little bit? I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're watching this, this is your clip. I'm going to tell you this right now. Reorganization is one of the healthier things you can do in your life. If you're out there right now struggling with mental health issues or depression or anything that is in the way of you being the best version of yourself, it's because you're not reorganizing. Reorganizing is that important. All it takes is you to just have an idea of what you want your place or a specific part of your place. It could be a bedroom, a bathroom. It doesn't even have to be the whole place. But if you can just start working on one area of your place where you sleep at night, where you live, and you can reorganizing, that could change your life drastically. All you need to do is start reorganizing because then you feel like you accomplished something and you're complete and you feel like you have dominated the week. It could be a bad week, but if you reorganize for 3 hours on a Saturday, you'll be like, holy shit, I've had a successful year. That's a real life fact. That's a fact in life that all it takes is reorganizing one part of your area in your life. You could reorganize your car. I will even go as far as to say you could reorganize your car and that would be good enough for you. But if you do any of those things, you'll watch your life change drastically. That's a little piece of spice for you for your December. A spicy December little, there you go, man. And that's for everyone for free. I'm just telling you right now, that's for free. And that's a secret you have. So you're welcome. Getting a little sweaty.
How many layers are you wearing?
Just 2, but it's cold outside. It's not cold in here. Remember, it's cold in here. Now it's hot in here. We have bedding on here, but okay. So I have an email. Maybe you could help me out with this because, I'm not big in the pop culture. I understand there's things going on with Kanye.
Oof.
I understand there's things going on with Balenciaga.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? Balenciaga or Balenciaga?
Balenciaga.
So there's something going on with that. These are pop culture things, right? Mm-hmm. We don't do a lot of pop culture things on here. I know that that's something that I could get better at. And, that goes to you guys maybe emailing. Lenoci.michael@gmail.com. Email me what you want me to talk about. We can go into it. It also could be specific problems that you guys are having. We could do that. But I have one email right here is a buddy I met, I met him. He was in Boston. He goes, "Hey man, I was at your show in Boston a few weeks back. Thanks so much for putting up with my mom and I being super drunk." First of all, I wasn't putting up with anything. A treat. Your mom was very sweet, very nice lady. You didn't.
So you remember it?
Yeah.
You remember the interaction?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go, "You don't seem drunk at all. You seemed like a good kid. Just kind of wanted to give you a nice moment." It was one of those, one thing I've had to work on is, I've said this to people, and people sometimes don't believe me, but I kind of don't like the interaction part of stand-up comedy. It's the one thing that I have to get better at. I would, if there was a way to be famous and sell tickets and never interact with people, that would be great. But I know it goes hand in hand with the job because you have to be thankful and meet and greets and stuff like that. But sometimes I like performing, and that's that. Okay. Either way, it was fine. Right. And she goes, "She was the one who told you I was a high school athlete." So specifically, yes, I do remember. This kid is obviously older now. He's like 24, but he was like the stud quarterback. He peaked in high school, which is like, he knows that, but I'm not like,
Is this from a bit or from podcasts that they're referring to? Like, why are they telling you this?
This is what his mom was telling me.
She just came up and was like,
"No,
hey,
it wasn't like that. It was kind of like a natural like conversation." She's like, I came here with my son. He's a big fan. And then all this. And I was like, "Yeah, well, why don't you tell him to come?" Because I'm out there after shows. I would go out and hang out near the merch and like take pics and try to get, people to buy more merch. So, which I got to come up with another idea.
No more idiots hoodies.
Yeah, they're fine. But I'm like, I could probably profit more if I have a specific thing that's geared towards my set. So I'm kind of thinking about that. We were small talking. This lady's, she's probably closer to my age, if not, no, what am I saying? Probably closer to 50 if her son's 24. So, and we were talking about her son. I was like, "Why don't you bring him out here and I'll meet him?" And he was a cool kid, tall kid. And that's what she said. And he goes, "You're the man for that. Been seeing your podcast and it's awesome. I'd love to hear what you think about current pop culture. Not too political, but something relevant stuffs. Thanks, man." So that's it. That was something that he was writing in. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm asking for from you guys. If you guys have something, let's hear it. Throw it at me and let's go. So that being said, what do I know about pop culture? What do we know that's going on? Mark doesn't know much either, unless his wife is telling him.
No, okay. So
what is going on right now that I need to know about? That I need to have a thought about? That I need to have an opinion about?
All right, but you want me to stay away from political?
Well, you don't have to stay. I mean, what do we got going on? We got the Elon Musk thing.
So Elon is destroying Twitter.
Explain this to me. Explain to me why. Well, first of all, big fan of Elon. Okay, I like him.
Really? I used to be a big fan.
What's going on? What is he doing?
He's just turned into a gigantic troll.
What is happening right now? Explain it to me, because I'm on Twitter and I'm like, well, it's hard to grow an audience on there, but I just am tweeting sports stuff. I just tweet about the Dolphins, which we'll get into in a second. Very excited about everything that's happening right now. It's my second passion, and it's hard to not like talk about it. But can someone explain to me what's up with what is going on with Elon and Twitter?
So outside of Elon buying Twitter,
yes, he bought it.
So he came in.
He came in.
We've got like 8,000 employees. He immediately fired half.
I saw something.
So now we're down
to
4,000.
Okay.
And then he said, "Hey, I need you to be working like nonstop until you drop. Like you need to be hold on. You need to be putting in 80 hours a week. You need to be sleeping at your desk. You should not be going home. This is the way it's going to be. And here's like sign on the dotted line. Otherwise get the fuck out." And then another half of those remaining 4,000 bounced. And then he decided, what we're going to do is I'm going to get anybody who was banned, we're going to let him back on.
Not everyone. He hasn't
Trump's back on.
Trump is, but he hasn't started tweeting yet.
Yeah, because he's trying to make the one he's financially invested in bigger.
Oh, Kanye's back, and then there's other like he hasn't let the other guy, the controversial.
Oh, he hasn't let Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is like that's
crazy
too
troll.
Far gone. That's a guy that's literally like.
Well, I think Elon's having a little fun. Can I throw in it? From what I understand, is he didn't say you have to sleep. There was a lot of people who were like, "I want to work from home," and he was like, "Get the fuck out of here." But if you're not going to be able to drive into work and work, then you don't need to be here, and we'll take that as Resonation. That's how I heard it.
But I would argue, like, when you're doing
of
Twitter, like you use Twitter on your phone, right?
Yeah.
And you just sit there and you can do it from anywhere. Working at Twitter,
I understand, but there is some fact to showing up to a job. You have a better work environment and it's better for the company. If he wants to run it that way, then so be it. He's not saying work 80
it's a
hours
private
week
company
and
now.
work.
He can run it however he wants.
Okay.
But he is going in and he's framing everything as like, this is the last bastion of free thought, free speech. Like, this is it. And as soon as he took over, there was a 500% increase of people dropping the N-word. 500%.
So is that a fact?
Fact.
Because first of all, before we go too far into this, we also have to understand that you were clearly coming from an angle of anti-Elon Twitter.
No. I need to explain that, like, 2010, huge fan. Following everything, watching all the videos. It's lately, like in the last 4 years, he's gone from like,
well, he's become a celebrity.
He remember he was supposed to be like Tony Stark, where he's like, hey, I'm gonna do electric vehicles because I want to save the world. I want to do this. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, hey, I've got this idea for the Hyperloop. Hey, mm-hmm. I'm gonna create like solar panels for your house. I'm gonna mm-hmm. create batteries, do all these things to make things better. Even rockets. I'm gonna get us.
We love rockets.
I'm gonna
Big
get us
rocket fan.
back into space.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became super fucking self-involved.
Okay. He is still doing the space shit awesomely. We're gonna have a manned mission to Mars. And hold on, can we just to get off subject for a second? We're gonna have people going back to the moon with it next year, 2023. There's gonna be can we end the whole? Hey, was the moon fake? For any conspiracy theorists that think the moon landing was fake, well, here's your chance for the new people to get to the moon and be like, well, here it is. Show with their phone. Here is the flag. Here's the plaque.
There's already people who still believe the Earth is flat.
Sure. But another thing is, like, do you know that even the Russians would be able to be like, hey, here's images of the moon. There's no American flag or plaque there that says they landed there first. No one cares.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Like, my whole thing about the conspiracy of the moon landing is, why wouldn't some of the other people who've landed on the moon say, no, I was the first one?
Yeah.
Instead of saying it was Armstrong, and also the Russians to be like, no, they haven't. This is proof. Because we've had missions there now too. And then also, if there's new missions, that should just shut people up. But so what is going on with actual Twitter? So that people are upset is the fact that there's no police.
Well,
on Twitter
it's
right
now a little bit of the Wild Wild West. So he wanted to give anybody who wants to spend $8 a blue check mark.
Okay, so yeah, so what's up with that? Is that
so what immediately happened is people would pay $8 and then completely impersonate a business or a brand or a celebrity.
But then I saw him tweet, hey,
but it's got the blue check mark. And we've been trained for the last 12 years that having the blue check mark means it's verified. That's the person I'm interacting with. Like, you knew, like, wait, are you blue check marked?
Yes.
Before you had to be verified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now someone can go and create like Michael Lenoci with 2 eyes, and then
it seems like
blue check mark it and
that.
Now they've decided, but that's the thing is they're rolling out these things
and then
without much thought.
Yes. Okay,
he's shooting from the hip.
Okay. So yeah, because then I saw that, like, because then people were making Elon Musk tweets with a verified thing.
100%.
Okay.
And so now
I'm still trying to understand, what are people upset about? Like, the app is still the same with newer features. So like, who cares?
But like, there is a lot more hate speech right now. Which, fine, whatever, who cares? Like, I don't use Twitter. I'm not invested in it. It's just one of those things where, like, it's so funny to see someone who, for a vanity project, decided to spend $44 billion, and it's literally
running it to the ground.
Yeah.
So maybe,
and that $44 billion could have been used for so many other better things.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe.
Like a trip to Mars.
Well, that's going to still happen.
Yeah, but he's going to need funding.
I don't know. I don't know how money works really in that aspect of the world. I don't think any of us do. I think it's just all kind of fake. I mean, there's things moved around. Like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's like, what? I just I think what?
You were like, I don't know. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like, what? Like, hey, we're moving. This money's coming. Where's all this money coming from? Who knows? Money's fake. It's all fucking fake, especially in the NFL. I'm going to the San Francisco 49ers game. Miami Dolphins. I fly in. Here it is. I fly into the 49ers game. This is cool. It's a cool thing. This is my other passion, man. This is what I'm enjoying. You spend money on you the older you get, the wiser you are with how you spend your money. Go, you know what? I'm going to spend it on what I actually care about. I don't care about clothes. I mean, obviously I need clothes to survive, but I don't like buy clothes or shoes. This is a trip. I'm flying in at 8:30 a.m. to San Jose, and you Uber to the stadium. It's 15 minutes from the airport. And then the game is at 1, and it will be done by like 4:15. And I will Uber straight to the airport, and my flight's at 7:15. I'll be back home at 8:30.
Nice.
So that's a kind of a cool little. You can only, to do that. You can only do that when it's an in-state game. That's exciting. You would never do something like that. What if Texas was playing?
Oh, I would.
Stanford.
Oh, I would totally go up for a day. I
Within a day.
do Sacramento all the time.
Yeah, for work.
Yeah.
Would you spend the money to go to a game? Would you spend $500 to go to a game and fly in and fly out? If you had a buddy going with you that was down to do it with you.
Correct.
You would do it. Not alone, but if you had a buddy that was willing to do it, you would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Like that's the shit, because that's the fun shit. And then the next week they play the Chargers in LA, and it just got moved to Sunday Night Football.
Oof.
And that's exciting. And the Dolphins will be here all week, staying in at UCLA. And I'm gonna try to get in there and to do something. I'd like to try to get Ricky Williams in here. That will always be a thing.
Question for you.
Yeah. I
feel like we should touch on this, and I want to ask you a question live on pod. So one, how was Thanksgiving?
It was good. I stayed home and made rice and chicken. Didn't have any Thanksgiving food, and my buddy CY was hanging out, and we just watched all 3 football games. And then at night, I actually left and went for some drinks. I had some drinks at some bars. I went to Sunset Tower. I've never been in my life. Wow.
I still have never been there.
Bro, it's awesome. Go there and have some dinner and drinks. They're very expensive, but like you go there, great vibe. There's some guys playing, musical instruments like a violin, like jazzy stuff.
I know some people who
trumpets
work there,
and violins are playing while you have some scotch at the bar. You feel real adult. You feel like a real adult. There's nothing that makes you, here we go for a clip, nothing makes you feel more like an adult than actual instruments being played. You got to have actual instruments being played, like a violin and a trumpet. 2 guys are playing that in front of a fireplace, and you're having like an old fashioned on the rocks with another guy, with another male, and it's platonic. It's not sexual at all because you're not gay. But if you were, it's fine, not a big deal. But I'm saying in this situation, you're just another guy, and you're watching some football on your phone because you have the app on your phone and you're watching it, and it's Sunday night. But in this case, it was Thursday night, and you're watching it, and there's music playing, and it's elegant. There's no DJs, there's no idiots, and you're just hanging out. That's the most manly thing you could do in a setting that is chill and classy. Besides like chopping a tree down, that's really manly. But you know what I mean? That's something to think about. That's something to take home with you guys. You're welcome. Clip it.
So,
yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you was, my niece got sick, and so my wife and I were like, we're gonna stay here for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So for the first time, my wife and I made our own Thanksgiving.
Horrible. I'm kidding. How was it?
So no, it was actually great. Like, she nailed.
You better say she nailed it.
She did.
What did you guys have?
So we had turkey,
yep,
stuffing,
yep,
gravy,
yep,
mac and cheese,
yep,
mashed potatoes,
uh-huh,
broccolini, and cornbread.
Uh-huh. And just you two.
Just us two. So here's what I want to ask. So
uh-huh,
she was like, should you invite someone?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, should I invite Lenoci? I know he's here. Like, whatever. She's like, absolutely. I was like, he won't come. He wouldn't come if I asked.
What time was it?
It would have been roughly for dinner at 5 p.m.
Very well could have came.
You wouldn't, would you? If I had texted you, if I had texted you,
I would have thought about it.
Would you have been? You would have thought about it. But if I was like, "Yo, we're doing Thanksgiving. You want to have Thanksgiving with me and my wife?"
I would have come.
You would have.
I might have. Would have come. Here's the deal. The first game was at 9:30. Second game was at 1:30, and then made some food and then hung out. By the time that game was over, 4:35, my buddy Peter hits me up. He was in town. He's used to live here from here. Was back in town from Florida, and I was like, "What's up? You want to Because my buddy CY works at the Den, and he was like, "We're open tonight," and I was like, "Well, we could go by there, drink for free. There won't be anyone there." So I hit him up. I was like, "What do you think?" And he's like, around 5:30. He was like, "Yeah, let me head out. I'll pick you up." So then I left the house at 6 and we went to Sunset Tower. So if you would have texted me at 2, let's do it. I would have come over at 5, stayed for an hour and a half, and then met my buddy Peter at Sunset. The night could have still went how it went. What are you doing?
Showing you the turkey.
Oh, wow, that looks good. I didn't have turkey. Look at that turkey, dude. That's a perfectly brown. How did you do that? How did you make it like that?
Oh, my wife, like I said,
How did you
she
do that?
fucking nailed it.
I would think you still have some of that. You should have brought some leftovers. Man, yeah, I would have come.
All right, next time I'll send the invite.
Man,
I was just like, nah. He'd just laugh at me and be like, nah, I'm watching football.
I'm not. But the second game was over by then, right in between the. You know what, dude? I'm not that bad of a guy. I'm not that bad of a guy. I did see this.
You only see me out when I book you on shows.
Yeah, that's true. I did have. I was just looking at random. What was it like on TikTok? Sometimes these facts come up. God, TikTok's so annoying. Do you know what the leading cause of death is from ages 25 to 35?
No.
Car accidents?
Oh, I was going to say it's car accidents because I know it's the leading cause of death for children right now.
For children?
Yeah.
What's a children?
Just getting hit by a car.
Come on. I don't believe that one.
Yeah, I was just listening to a pedestrian death. I was listening to a podcast.
But do you know what the leading cause of car accident is?
TikTok?
Not what it used to be when we were younger compared to what it is now.
So it used to be what? Not wearing seatbelt?
No, I would say DUIs.
Oh, DUIs.
That's number 2 now.
Now it's distracted driving?
Yep.
Yeah.
Distracted driving. So being
someone's
on your phone.
making a fucking TikTok?
Isn't that crazy? So
no, not at all.
But DUIs is still happening, but obviously probably not as much because there's Uber and stuff. But
if you're
DUI is still happening, which is kind of crazy.
If you're driving, and someone FaceTimes you, do you answer that?
Probably not. No, I'll click it off. I don't really answer FaceTimes.
No.
Maybe if it was Haley, I'm like, hey, I'm driving, and then I could set it up. I think that's no, because I always just it's connected to my car. The worst thing I have is I still do what everybody else does. When I used to drive a scooter, I used to pull up at intersections. I would see everyone in the car on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
You'd see it the most when I was on the scooter. It says right here, around 70, first of all, I came across this. I thought this was interesting. Around 74% of all deaths in the United States occur as a result of 10 causes.
Okay.
Which, doesn't that sentence alone kind of give you comfort?
Well, because you think there's only 10 things we need to change
or just worry about.
Yeah,
that kind of gives me some sort of comfort, being like, okay, and then you go through what the 10 things. You're like, I can make it out of here. But there's some things that are out of control.
Things on you?
Well, the second one is you can't control, which is cancer.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, there is. You can be a little bit proactive about it, of making sure you get checked up if you have some family thing, but. We don't. If we don't, but number one is, you know what number one is in America? Heart disease.
Yeah.
Because we're the most overweight country in the world. You notice that one thing when you travel, and
we're a bunch
traveling,
of fats.
all you see, every airport, everybody's fat. Okay. Deaths in 2017, 647,000 people. That's 23% of the deaths in 2017 from heart disease. That's pretty crazy. basically a quarter of
heart disease itself is crazy.
Which is mostly led by overweight. It can be from drinking and smoking as well. Yeah. But, as an active guy, we're active people. Right there is cancer. And what are you going to do? Because there's new cancers all the time. It's just like, it's inevitable.
Wait, what new cancers are there?
There's new cancers that develop. But I don't think that's the major cancer. Obviously, the major one is breast cancer, lung cancer.
Pancreatic,
colon. Which, you know what I mean? Like, there's always new things that, like, they're like, oh, this is a new cancer. I don't know. I mean, I could just be talking out of my ass.
I was going to say,
lung cancer, prostate cancer, and colorectal cancer. Colorectal.
Colon.
That's colon, yeah. 27,000, 31,000 for prostate, lung and bronchitis
but like the
cancer,
crazy thing to me is like lung cancer. That's, for the most part, I would assume
is going to go away.
Well, no,
because of coal mine people and smokers, which isn't a thing anymore.
It's smokers, and then it's also like really bad environments with like a bad pollution.
Do people still smoke as much as they used to? It doesn't seem like it.
Overseas, absolutely, they're still smoking.
Well, all right, and then number 3 is unintentional injuries. Which is car accidents.
Yeah.
Accidents or unintentional injuries are the 4th leading cause of death in the U.S. overall. The leading cause of death for those ages 1 to 44. That's what it was like crazy. So like, yeah.
Interesting.
Alzheimer's is at 6.
Oof.
But that's 4.3. But that's also with people 65 and older too. Diabetes is a high one. Pneumonia. That can happen to anyone if you.
Yeah, but like diabetes.
Number 10 is suicide.
Interesting.
Which is only about 50,000 a year. I shouldn't say only. That's
still
a lot.
I was gonna say that's still a lot.
That's fucking
50,000 in 365
days.
20.
That's basically 24 9/11s. To put things into perspective, when you think about 9/11, you're like, only. Yeah. It does seem crazy that only that many people died. It is funny when things are like put into perspective. They're like, hey, this is crazy that this happened. Like 9/11 was crazy. It was sad because it was like that many people we were attacked and killed. But like the fact that it was like less than 3,000 people died on that day. But then you have people, how many people die a day from just fucking pills?
Oh, yeah.
That were manipulated through our society of getting people. Do you believe we live in a society where like the pharmaceutical companies are like, yeah, let's get this pill out there. It's addicting and people are going to need it.
I want to believe that it's not, but the opioid,
the opioid epidemic is real.
No. There's a drug recently where like they were literally found to like, oh, you were trying to get people addicted. And
wasn't Ritalin part of that too?
Yeah. But like for me, like I was a Ritalin kid, but like I'm ADHD. Like I don't get hyper off that shit. It does the exact opposite to me.
Yeah, but definitely wasn't healthy. You wouldn't give it to your son today.
Why not?
Because it's proven to not be good.
How so?
They stopped giving it to children.
They still give Ritalin out. 100%. It's called Adderall. Yeah. But it was a prescription painkiller, but it was one of those things where like,
I think it was like, there was a documentary about it. No?
Yeah. It just recently, like they were found to have like really been, they were just paying people like, yeah, prescribe it.
Yeah. There is, where there's money, you can always find the answers if you follow the money trail. That's a real thing.
Yeah, I think there's some bad actors, but then there's still good actors. Like my favorite thing whenever I see all those pharmaceutical commercials are like, they're like, may cause anal bleeding. And you're like, why would I take that? Like, why did this make it through the test?
Because if it stops me from killing myself, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they find things that are specific to people that they desperately need. And then that could be, I mean, think about just in our lifetime how like now there's these, like everybody can live with HIV now. There's no worry. You're not going to die now.
Well, your life will be tougher, but you can get.
But they have a whole thing like the commercials now are crazy.
You can have a livable life.
Totally normal life.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't even show up in your shit now.
Well, I
love how Magic had that 20 years ago, though. 30 years ago.
Do you remember the South Park episode they did on it?
No.
Where they were like, we're just going to blend a bunch of money and it's a direct injection. It's a money shot. We'll save you from HIV.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, and then there's a lot of like things that are truth that you kind of, when you get older and you realize like prescription drugs make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they also help a lot. That's the thing, is people think
100%.
People will be like, well, how are you going to trust the government? They put a lot of money into these things and they want you to be, but true. But some of them also are very, they do help a lot of things. Listen, Tylenol's great, right?
Yeah.
Again, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about on here. Just kind
I'm more of an
Aleve
Aleve person, not Tylenol.
What's the difference?
I'm just messing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What's the difference? I kind of just don't like to take anything. You know what I like to do? Like, I was feeling a little under the weather today. I went to the sauna for an hour. And I feel great.
Sauna?
What?
Where do you have a sauna?
LA Fitness.
Oh.
You gotta, yeah. I mean, but that nothing makes me feel better than doing that.
Okay.
Which is oddly weird.
Sweat it out.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Just like an ancient way of getting rid of things. Sweat it out without using your energy.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And then, like, even now I can feel a little bit more run down from doing work. We've been speaking for 41 minutes. But anyways, let us know. Hit us up, man. Lenoci.michael@gmail.com, or hit up the podcast on Instagram, and we will get into whatever you need us to get into. But appreciate you guys watching. And we're going to check out this week. We're checking out right now. So hit us up, subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.